going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A, baby, today. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions on Community tab. We'll get better at answering the questions. First up is Isaac Ackley. Who is to blame for the issues with the interior offensive line? Player scouting or coaching? Maybe Chris Cooper needs to go. Your thoughts? Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I think it's a combination of everything. And unfortunately for Chris Cooper, I mean, the Vikings offensive line, since he's got here, has underperformed on the interior. Now, there's been injuries and there's been attrition and all that stuff, but bottom line, Ed Ingram has not progressed. Garrett Bradbury has not progressed prodigiously, although, I mean, he did get better in 2022, but since then, maybe not so much. Reisner has been fine, pass protecting wise. Run blocking has been an issue up front. The Vikings have been bottom third of the league in terms of yards per carry the last 3 years during the Kevin O'Connell regime since Cooper's been here. So at a certain point, the buck does stop with him. And it does seem like the Vikings are going to be intact in terms of bringing back the coaching staff. But, I mean, we got to see some progression with Cooper and the offensive line this season. Otherwise, decisions will have to be made. But, yeah, scouting, resources, all that stuff. Yeah, everyone is to blame for the interior offensive line. But now they have the motivation. They have the cap space. They have the ability to really suture things up on the interior. And Chris Cooper can certainly save his job. So we'll see. 2, Joey Green. Why haven't the Vikings assured J.J. McCarthy he's the guy? Well, first off, I feel like J.J. McCarthy is mentally tough enough, like he doesn't need that. Now, there are certain quarterbacks out there who definitely need that reassurance that, hey, you're the man. You're the guy. You are our quarterback going forward. I honestly think that J.J. McCarthy doesn't mind. Right, where he wants to earn his job. Like, honestly, if he had stayed healthy last year, I think that he would have been pissed off if he would just handed the quarterback one job and didn't have to earn it over slinging Sammy Darnold, right? And I think that, McCarthy, like he's got that competitive chip on his shoulder, even though he's been like 5-star everything throughout his entire life, winning a national title at Michigan, it's all good. But he does have that underdog mentality, and I think that he wants to carry that in. And he does want to earn this job no matter what. And also, it could be a spot too, like, hell, the Vikings may have decided internally, with Kwesi, that we're moving on from Darnold no matter what, and J.J. McCarthy is going to be the guy. I still don't think that they would tell him, because I think that not so much that like McCarthy might leak things during Super Bowl media week that may inhibit the Vikings from being able to tag and trade Sam Darnold, but I just feel like McCarthy doesn't care. McCarthy wants to earn the job, and frankly, it's something that isn't necessary for them just to reassure him that he's the guy, because he is going to be the guy and he's going to earn it. Next, allegedly cool. Could potentially losing Harrison Smith, Cam Beasley, Bynum, and Stephon Gilmore this offseason be a problem when it comes to leadership on the defense? Yes, but also, I mean, you lose players all the time, whether it's age, attrition, free agency, whatever, but other people step up. And, Josh Metellus, absolute leader on that back end of that defense. And the Vikings, if they lose Harrison Smith, if they lose Beasley, like the Vikings obviously would be young on the back end of that defense, whether it's, bringing in Dwight Newton-McLaughlin, also potentially losing Byron Murphy Jr. in free agency. But next man up, that is the mentality. You do have Metellus on that back end, and basically just like it is a seasons change, things change, and other guys have to step up. That's what has to go down. Next, Angel Dutz Sr. OG Jerome, biggest current draft crush. Got so many of them, man. Got so damn many. Like Caleb Johnson, running back from Iowa. Amarin Hampton, running back from UNC. Gray Zabel, utility offensive lineman from NDSU. Jade Barron, Nick Emenwari. Of course, Deion Walker. Deion Walker I have a crush on because I think that he's got a very low floor, but he's also got an unlimited ceiling. I think that his physical attributes could lend himself to be the most dominant defensive interior player in the league, or he washes out and he's gone in 3 years. And there's really no in between. Like I don't see a world where Deion Walker just turns into a serviceable defensive lineman. Right? He's either going to be the man or learning Chinese, right? And also you got R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey is definitely grown on me, and he's a player that I think would fit in perfectly for what the Vikings want to do. Tre'Von Henderson too. Judkins. I mean, there's so many damn good running backs in this class that I think that could do some damage with this Vikings offense. But RJ Harvey's going to be special, man. There's a little bit of Bucky Irving. There's a little bit of Debo. There's shades of like Percy Harvin with RJ Harvey. I think that he's deceptively quick. I think that he's going to be a really interesting player at the next level. And then also, like boring picks, but crushes like Tyler Booker. Like draft Tyler Booker and insert him at one of the guard spots, and you don't have to think about him for the next 10 to 12 years. And he'll be rock solid. He'll be a Pro Bowl adjacent, potentially an all-pro type guard. And I understand that things aren't sexy on the interior offensive line, but also I do not care in the slightest. Just suture things up, and you're good to go. Like Booker, I think Booker goes before the Vikings 24, but if he's there, just take him. Like even if you hammer down on offensive line in free agency, say you sign Trey Smith, as well as like a Zach Martin or a Zeitler or whatever, just take Tyler Booker and just go from there. Lastly, Justin Colburn, another OG Jerome. Have you ever applied or considered to apply for a sportscasting job? I think you have the right temperament. You're entertaining and you don't have a boring voice. The Vikings should hire you just for your daily commitment to post the Vikings news. Hey, thanks for all the kind words. I haven't really thought about it because this is not my full-time gig. It's a very fun side hustle, and I'll keep doing it as long as it's fun. But never really thought about progression because it's like if you're a really good home cook, right? And then all of a sudden you want to be a chef, and then you realize it's not really what it's cracked up to be. Nah. And I don't know, like sometimes I see how much those studio jabronis get paid for spewing nonsense. I'm just like, I could do that. But never really considered like making this like a profession or moving up or anything like that. It's just for love of the game or something like that. And also, if you work for the Vikings, you can't really talk ish about the team when that's necessary, and that's not really what I want to do. So like, Wabi and Gabe, they're always just like, branches of PR for the team. Nah. Like when the time is right to talk ish about the team, I want to be able to talk a lot of poop about the squad, and that's what's up. Anyways, that is it. Vikings Q&A for this beautiful day, baby. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.